Hey guys, I'm Cameron and welcome back to my channel where we sip tea and also spill the tea as I talk about some of my favorite reads. So in today's video, I'm so very excited to be bringing you a book haul about bad boys who get the girl. If you watch any of my videos, you all know that I am a girl who loves the bad boys. All of the books I read has to have a very type of enemies to lovers type of feel where the bad boy and the good girl get together and sexy goodness happens from there. So without further ado, let's get into this video because you know what? I'm super excited for it. So let's do this, okay? Let's get into it. So the first book on my list is Fortuna Sworn. Okay. Let's try that again. So the first book on my list is Fortuna Sworn. So this book follows a girl who is a siren, and she happens to be the last of her kind, all except for her brother who has gone missing. So our girl, she happens to be just living a regular life out in the human world where she is a bartender by day, and by night she is out like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Sherlock Holmes searching for her brother, and she will do whatever is necessary to try to find him. And so while I guess she is on one of her little investigative missions to try to find her brother, she ends up running across a man who is from the fairy realm, and he decides to make her an offer because I guess he thinks that she is very sexy and seductive. Maybe because she's a siren. But anyways, he makes an offer that she just cannot refuse. I believe this offer has something to do with her brother, and so she follows him to the fairy realm, and I believe that the offer that he is giving her is kind of like a marriage proposal of sorts. I'm not sure, but I was reading about it more on Goodreads, and somebody like in the review was saying that. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. I hope it's not. If so, then I'm sorry. But anyways, in the reviews, I actually saw that somebody compared this book and the characters in it and just everything that was going on. They compared it to Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses, and they were saying that if you like that book, then you will definitely love this book. I guess Feyre and our girl Fortuna, their names even kind of sound alike, sort of. They are very much alike in the way where they're kind of like a captive of sorts. They go to the fairy realm semi-willingly, then they start to kind of fall in love with their captor from there. So yeah, guys, I love villains, I love bad boys, and this guy totally sounds like a bad boy, and our girl Fortuna, she sounds freaking epic. Like, she never gives up on her brother, and I think that that is a awesome trait to have. So yeah, guys, this book sounds wonderful. It sounds completely villainous, and I'm so excited to sink my teeth into this one. So yeah, guys, that is Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. So the next book that I'm going to be bringing to you reminds me a lot of the last book that I was talking to you about, but it's still different, okay? So the next book on this list is Kiss the Fae by Miss Natalia Jaster. I kind of forgot her last name for a second. But anyways, this follows a girl who happens to wander into the Fae realm for some reason or another, and while she is in this realm, she ends up running into the king or the lord of this kingdom that she finds herself in, and he makes her a deal. If she can live and survive in the Fae realm for 13 days, then he will let her and her sisters go free, because apparently, some way or another, he ends up kidnapping her sisters along the way. So our girl, because she loves her sisters, she of course agrees to this offer, but there is a catch. So the Fae realm in this world is not rainbows and sunshine. Like, no, there are not majestic unicorns running around. No, in this world, it's freaking scary and dangerous, and there are a whole crap ton of solitary Fae, and those are the Fae that do not live in groups. They live on their own because they are freaking dangerous. And yeah, our girl is gonna be having to run around in this crazy place of a kingdom, and she has to make sure that she doesn't get killed in the process. And while she is doing this, while she starts to compete in this competition of sorts to try to survive 13 days and 13 nights, she ends up having to fight off her attraction for this Fae Lord who happens to always run into her and be around her in the most inopportune of times while she's just trying to survive. So yeah, guys, I mean, this sounds amazing. Who doesn't love a competition? Who doesn't love a good enemies to lovers? And who doesn't love a sexy freaking bad Fae Lord? Like, I don't know about you, but that is freaking sexy. Give me fairies, give me bad boy fairies any freaking day. I already know I'm going to love this. So yeah, that is Kiss the Fae by Natalia Jaster. So the next book that I'm going to be talking to you about is called Illusions of Grandeur by Catherine Ann Kingsley. So first of all, I want to say, before I start to get into this and start describing it to you and telling you what this is about, I was reading on the reviews for this book, and somebody compared this book to the Phantom of the Opera. So they said that the guy who's going to be the love interest, he's very much like the Phantom of the Opera in the Phantom of the Opera, right? He's like the guy there. I guess he's a bit crazy, a bit mad, and very, very, very devilish. Like, whenever I say that this guy's a villain, he's a straight up villain. He likes to murder people. Some people like to read books for fun, and other people like to murder people for fun, and that just happens to be our main guy of this book. So yeah, guys, keep that in mind before you check this book out. If you're okay with that, then definitely read this book, because our guy is definitely a killer and he likes to kill. So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay? Okay, so apparently this book is about a girl named Alice, and she is somebody who is not ordinary. She is very strange, and she likes to do crazy things. She likes to take a walk on the wilder side of things, and she just likes to explore and do things that people only talk about doing. So of course, when she sees that this mansion of sorts needs a caretaker, she decides to sign right up for it. And apparently this mansion is something that is kind of haunted. It's known for being very creepy and mysterious, and when she hears all about that, she is like, yes, that is where I want to be. And so yeah, she ends up becoming the caretaker of this freaking creepy as heck mansion. And yeah, of course, from there, creepy things start to happen. While she is at this mansion, she meets one of the men that are living in this mansion as well, and he is somewhat of a amateur magician. He specializes in doing like illusions and everything, and he is also somebody who, in the back of this book, she calls him sexy. So is this guy going to be a love interest? Maybe he will be. So anyways, this book also involves a ghost who haunts the mansion, and he is going to be doing some crazy things to our girl. He is going to be haunting her butt like no other, And honestly, guys, I'm a little confused when it comes to this book, because in the back of this book, it talks about, you know, the sexy amateur magician, and, you know, I was like, okay, so that's gonna be the love interest, right? Well, this book throws you for a curveball, because at the end, right here, it says Julian Strand may have died a century ago, but it doesn't stop him from taking an interest in the new caretaker of his estate. So, guys, I'm kind of confused. Is the amateur magician Julian Strand? Like, is he somehow dead, but he's alive? I don't get that. How do you wake up one day dead, but you're still alive? Like, that is a weird existential type of question. Maybe I'm kind of like thinking, is he like a vampire, or is he gonna be the ghost that is haunting her in this book? So, guys, this book sounds very, very interesting to me. I know this also sounds very confusing. I'm sorry if I left you very confused, but I am also very confused. And yeah, guys, all I know is that this book sounds freaking good, and somebody compared it to the Phantom of the Opera. I like the Phantom of the Opera, so yeah, hopefully I like this. It sounds freaking awesome, and I'm excited to be reading this creepy book. So yeah, that is The Illusions of Grandeur by Miss Catherine Ann Kingsley. So yeah, that is that one. Alright, guys, let's go into the next book on this list, okay? So the next book on this list happens to be the third and final book of this trilogy that I absolutely freaking loved, and that I will recommend to anybody, because this book is freaking fantastic and juicy and sexy, and it happens to involve a amazing enemies to lovers type of trope that I just can't stop loving. So this book is called Reborn by Damon Eve. So obviously I'm not going to tell you what this last book is about, because if I told you what this is about, then that will give away the whole premise and everything that's been going on, because obviously there's a lot going on, because this is the last and final book in the series. But anyways, I will tell you very, very quickly, because I've explained this so many times on so many of my old videos, but I will tell you very, very quickly what this is about, okay? So this book reminds me a lot of ACOTAR as well, except instead of having fairies, there are shifters or werewolves in this book. And so anyways, this girl, she is a shifter, and nobody really likes her in her shifter little community that she lives in. And so one day she ends up shifting into a werewolf for the first time, and it's here that she finds out that her soulmate happens to be the alpha's son. And obviously the alpha's son does not like this, because he doesn't like her, because nobody else likes her, and so he ends up rejecting her. Our girl from here ends up very, very upset, because who wouldn't be upset if somebody rejects you, especially like your freaking soulmate? Like, that freaking sucks. But anyways, guys, so our girl ends up praying to this alpha god to come and get her out of this freaking situation, and so this guy actually answers her prayers, and yeah, he comes and he gets her out of this inconvenient situation that she found herself in. And it's here that she ends up living with this man in this very, very huge mansion, and they happen to not like each other whatsoever, but they still have to live together. I'm not going to tell you why, because that's a big spoiler, but basically they have to bunk together, and they do not like each other at all. They do not get along. So yeah, guys, from here, this book is basically like an enemies to lovers. This book is so much like the relationship that was developed between Feyre and Tamlin, except in this book, Tamlin does not go crazy, and Tamlin does not turn into a freaking jerk. So yeah, if you want to read a book about a guy who's kind of like Tamlin, except he's not crazy, and this Tamlin ends up being a freaking epic and amazing freaking bad boy boyfriend, then definitely check this book out. So yeah, guys, that is Reborn by Damon Eve. If you want to know what the first book is called, I actually have it right here. Let me see. It is called Rejected by Damon Eve. And guys, like, can we just like look at these covers? Like, I can't really hold them that well, but look at these covers. They are so freaking gorgeous, and I just have to tell you, every book is so amazing. They just get freaking better with each book that goes along. Like, I freaking love this series. And side note, I actually, like, before I bought these books, I was reading it on Kindle, and I had already had it on Kindle, I had already read it, but I loved it so freaking much. I loved it so much that I knew that I had to buy it. So even after reading it, I decided to buy these books just so that I can have it on my bookshelf and so that I can hold it and love it and give it so much love. So yeah, guys, am I slightly obsessed with this series? Yes, I am. Is it freaking on a unhealthy type of level? Yes, it probably is, because even as I'm talking to you about this book, about this series, I am stroking this cover like a weirdo, but I can't help it. It's freaking amazing, and you guys need to hop on this train, because it is a sexy train, it is a naughty train, it is a very bad train, and it just takes you places that you will love. And you will enjoy every naughty second of it. So yeah, guys, that is Rejected, Reclaimed, and finally Reborn by Damon Eve. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally on to our last book on this adventure, and that happens to be another book that is a third book in a series, and that is called Iron Crowned by Miss Rhysand. This is a series that I have actually already read. I read it about 3-4 years ago, but guys, it was such an incredible freaking series. I loved it so much, and I read it online, and so ever since then I've slowly been trying to collect the books in the series. So I finally ended up getting my hands on Iron Crowned by Rhysand. I found it at Half Price Books, and whenever my eyes saw this book, I knew that I had to get it because I absolutely love the series. So guys, the first book in the series happens to be Stormborn by, you guessed it, Rhysand, and then the second book is Thorn Queen, and the third book is Iron Crowned. So I don't want to give too much away, but I will tell you pretty much the premise and the basics about what this book is about. It's basically about a girl. She is a shaman for hire. I say girl, but she's actually a woman. She's 27 years old. But anyways, she is a shaman for hire, and she ends up finding out that there's this type of crazy prophecy that foretells of a shaman who will basically get pregnant, and her baby will be the destroyer of worlds. Everybody in the supernatural community, like, they all want to hop on this crazy train, and they want to get her pregnant, because apparently being the father of the destroyer of worlds is like really cool to be able to tell your friends and your buddies at poker night. And yeah, so all of the guys in the supernatural community, they all want to get in this girl's pants, and they want to be her baby daddy. So yeah, of course, our girl, she does not want this to happen. She just wants to live her life, and these guys are putting a dent on her normal life. So she ends up getting the help from two very sexy men. One of them happens to be a kitsune, which is a type of shapeshifter, and then the other sexy man happens to be a fairy lord, a fairy king. And guys, after watching me talk about all of the very sexy fairy men and all of my other books, well, any guesses as to who I'm rooting for in this situation? Yeah. give me that Fae Lord, okay? I'm definitely all for the Fae Lord. But anyways, guys, from here, a love triangle starts to presume and arise. And guys, both of these men that she likes, they both happen to be very, very sketchy and very, very just bad. You never know whose side they're on and if they're really trying to help her or not. And guys, like, this book series, it's just so amazing. It's so incredible. I love our main character. She is just such a character, man. She is so funny. The things that she says, she's so sassy and just, she has such a spirit about her, strong and feisty. And yeah, guys, I love this book series, and I hope that you read this and that you love it just as much as I do, because it's freaking fantastic and amazing and every other awesome descriptive word in the book, right? So yeah, guys, that is Stormborn, Thorn Queen, and Iron Crowned by Rochelle Mead. So guys, we have made it to the end of this video. If you liked this video, then please make sure to like and subscribe, because I post new videos every week. And also, please excuse my hands because I feel like I'm doing such weird things to them. I wish I was normal and that I could just, like, you know, like, place my hands down and be able to talk to you like a normal person, but I can't. If I was a singer, I would so be that singer that's like all like woo 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 as they're singing, you know what I mean? As they do like riffs, they'll be like, ah. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, so like I said before, if you like watching me make a fool of myself 24/7 and also talk about sexy bad boys and amazing books, then please make sure to check me out, to subscribe, and yeah, join this family, because I love you and I would love to welcome you to my side of BookTube. So yeah, guys, comment down below if you have any more recommendations for me, especially if that recommendation has to do with a freaking hot bad boy. So yeah, guys, I love y'all all so much, and yeah, I'll see you next time, okay? Mwah. Bye, guys.